all good things have to eventually come to an end. So this is extremely cheesy, but Pablo Picasso once said that in order to create, you must destroy. Although a lot of anarchists and people take it out of context, that whole idea is a very important one. We've been running the channel now for the last, I don't know, 5 years-ish, like as a proper production, doing as many cool things, just improving it as we can. And I've been very fortunate to have brands come aboard. Brands are extremely important to this channel's success. It allows me to do this full time. They are the big patrons of the content that we create here, so I don't have to ask you guys for money in a way that a Patreon does. I make sure that the brands are covering the costs and you guys get to just enjoy the content. It also gives brands an opportunity to speak to you guys like Elgato or SteelSeries, where you might be missing out on some really exciting information about them. I'm very honest about what I feel about their products. We talk about them on the stream all the time, what we feel is good and what we feel is bad, and why you should or you shouldn't buy a particular product. So I feel very comfortable doing brand deals for you. One of the biggest differences with brand deals that I do on my channel, sponsors, is that I do them long form. I do them as long as I possibly can. So I reduce the rate which I charge the company, and I run them for as long a period as the company is happy with. That way I can be honest with both the company and you guys about what I care about in the products, whether they're getting value out of it. It's a very important method to me of being an influencer. I think there's just too many influencers that are jumping from one product to another product very quickly, and it sucks. It sucks for you guys because it just makes whatever I'm saying inauthentic, and it sucks for the company because one week you're covering something and then the other week you're covering something else. Meanwhile, I'd rather get in depth and teach you more about a certain product. You might have seen a lot of different competitors on my channel, but in reality, they've actually had a lot of time between them. In some instances, they've actually had times between contracts, which can you stop? And I'm quite proud of that fact. I think that a lot of companies that end up working with me do want to work for long term, and that's a little bit of a boost to my ego in the way that we're building this production. Like that it's trustworthy, it's reliable, that we're honest, that people can come here and have a good time. Anyway, things are changing on the channel. We have a couple of sponsors that are leaving, and I know a lot of people don't do that on their channels. A lot of other content creators just let it slide and slip under the radar. But I think it's important for me to say goodbye to a few sponsors that have helped the channel grow over the past while, and then hi to some new sponsors that are coming on board. If you've been watching the live streams, you will know like who the new sponsors are. Firstly, let's say our goodbyes. I was very, very sad to say goodbye to Loot.co.za. They are ending up their contract. It's actually ended now by the time you've watched this video. I've kind of procrastinated producing this video and working out what I'm gonna say, but I'm very grateful to who they are as a company. They're such incredible people that work there. They're literally just going through some changes right now. We've been on, I think we've been on like for 4 years together as a team. It's been an incredible 4 years. I've had feedback from them. Gaming is doing well there as a result of this. I've had feedback into the company about like specials and what you guys want to see on sale, which has been great. And it was a good partnership. It really was. I just know them personally, and they're great, great people. And just because I'm not going to be talking about deals with them and we're parting ways doesn't mean that you should stop supporting them. Please do. And if you can, as long as you can, just be like, hey man, I'm still here because I watched Grant's stuff, and Grant's told me how cool you guys are. It's nice that they're based in Cape Town, and I've been to their offices, and they're just really nice people. Yeah, it's been an honor working with them, and I'm super grateful. You know, in South Africa, online retail is a tough industry. It's a tough industry worldwide, but specifically here, I think there are a lot of very conservative people not buying stuff online, and they just don't trust those brands. Loot is a brand you can try. I'm not saying this anymore because they're not paying me a cent, but I just know them personally, and there are people that you can trust. They want to see them thrive. In fact, Gareth, one of our mods on the live stream and someone that's very active on the channel, like he's got the testimony of when he ordered something and it was arriving late or it didn't arrive on time. One of the employees, actually quite a senior employee, because I know her, drove to his house and dropped it off by hand. And it just goes to show how much they care as a business. Yeah, which is great. This mic isn't shot and it's very annoying. I'm gonna lower it. Damn it. We parted in really good terms, and I really love what they're doing for South African retail and in the South African online retail space for South Africans. You know, like, we really need to be on the cutting edge of digital distribution, and they're those people. Now for the good news. So we've had a couple of other sponsors on the channel, like Jump On, and we're doing long-term contracts. The first one is Elgato. If you haven't seen Elgato on the channel yet, you will, and I'm very proud to have them here. They mean a huge amount to me as a brand. I'm a huge fan of theirs. I smuggled a lot of their stuff across the border back in the days when you could do that. No, I had to order stuff with Amazon to a friend's place and get it just because I was a fan of their hardware. To me, they're like the you know how people freak out about Apple because they're just like fanboying. I'm that fanboy for streaming hardware, but specifically for Elgato. Everything that they make, they they are incredible with. My big anecdote is that when so Julian is I'll include his Twitter below. I don't know if he wants me to or not, but he's the GM of Elgato, and I used to follow him. He doesn't have that many followers because he's a businessman, man. He's behind the camera. He's not in front of things. And I literally I follow him on Twitter, and I saw that he was in London when I was in London, and he was like, I'm gonna be here for the rest of the day. Really great to be in London. Like, cheers, guys. Something, I forgot what the tweets were. And then I was like, yo, I have plans tonight, but I didn't tell him this. I had plans tonight, but I'm keen to meet up with you. I'm very passionate about your brand. I said it in a more professional way. And he was like, yeah, I've got an hour. So I literally canceled plans with Liz, she's a queen, and went to that meeting and just nerded out. He was the coolest dude. Like, we literally nerded out about streaming hardware for an hour, and we just spoke about unreleased products and how excited I am for some of the things that they've released, some of them now, and I was just like super excited. And then he was like, I don't know what we can do with you. And I was like, South Africans need Elgato hardware because we've had to like smuggle it into the country. We need a distro. So I tried to get some distros on board or whatever, but secretly, that he didn't tell me, Corsair were buying them. Corsair now own Elgato, and Corsair obviously has a distro in South Africa, so that plugged into that straight away. So Elgato's here now. They're in South Africa and they're for sale, and then I got hold of them and they were like, we gotta sponsor you. It's literally a dream combination, which I'm really grateful for. Streamers, we're gonna have some serious hardware in the country for streaming, which is great. The second brand that's coming on board is one that I'm extremely excited about as well. I bought my first PC. I bought my latest PC in London through PC Specialist. Great company, by the way. Ben helped me get a really good price on it. He works at PC Specialist, and it was very kind of him. And one of the suggestions that Ben was drilling into me at the time, as somebody who knows PCs, was like, go AMD. Go AMD, get a Ryzen 7, go AMD. So when well, I couldn't afford a Ryzen 7, I bought a Ryzen 5, and I then went Vega 56 as my GPU, both of which are, well, the GPU I had to remove when I came back to South Africa, put it in hand luggage, and security was like, what is this? It's not a bomb. And and fortunately the guy at security was a gamer, and he was like, as soon as he saw it, he was like, what games you play? And I was like, oh snap, we're friends now. Going through those gates is extremely scary. So I bought this Ryzen machine like 2 years ago. Big fan of Ryzen as a content creator and as a gamer. Ryzen at the time seemed to be like really hitting the cusp of what was possible with their threads, multi-thread computing. And even now with their 7nm stuff, it's just explosive. And I got hold of the AMD manager in South Africa, and she was like ecstatic. She was like, cool, let's sponsor you. And these are two companies I approached because I just love them, and they've come on board. So I'm extremely grateful to have Elgato and AMD as the new sponsors, and we get to say goodbye to Loot, which sucks, but times change. The channel's changing and evolving, and hopefully that with these new changes we're going to be pushing forward, doing some really cool stuff together, building some PCs, doing a lot more streams and testing out a lot more streaming hardware, doing giveaways. Who doesn't want CPUs? So yeah, I'm really excited. Anyway, that's a wrap. I know this is a kind of like a different video, but I thought I'd have to share that with you. I'll see you guys in another video. Cheers.